trying this time with music. What's up? I want to do a quick one this time because I was thinking about doing just like a little tutorial on how to make a dynamic third-person camera for a game. We're going to use it for our game, and I thought it might be useful for other people. I guess just kind of overview what I'm talking about. Normally how things work is for a third-person game is you either have a camera that follows you or a static camera, and kind of want to do none of those things. So if you imagine a game like Smash Brothers, which let's pull up like let's pull that up. Some Smash Bros. Ultimate gameplay. This will help illustrate what I mean. In Smash Brothers, the camera is constantly centering itself on all characters on screen. So it's not actually following one character, but it's like kind of trying to align itself with the median of, okay, this is a little crazy, the median of where all the characters are at any time. So you see that it's trying to like move and get all characters on screen at the same time. And it's nice and dynamic. It's way better than a static camera where it's just kind of, you know, not moving and not really showing off any action of the gameplay. It adds a lot of like dynamism and just kind of movement that makes the game feel more exciting. So I'm just going to show you how to do that and how we're going to do it for our game, so that you can do it for yours. Because we don't have moving levels and the character moves around a static environment, you can see it's just kind of dull. We just have one character here, and the level's not really moving. You don't really get a sense of action or anything from it. So we want to make something that has a little bit more movement to it. And I thought we'd build that together. Okay. First, I'm not going to go over everything that's led up to this being complete, like the level design and too much of like how to set up a game mode. I'm assuming you have some of that stuff. The key thing is when you make your own game mode, you have to make your own player controller class, and in that player controller, make sure on event graph, you see we have begin play, and then set up using our camera. So you can do it in a function or in a function like we have here, or you can just do it directly off of begin play. But you want to make sure you get all actors of class, and you want to make sure it's a camera actor. We're using all actors of class with tag because we want it specifically to find the static cameras, which at this point we're only using static cameras, so we can kind of nix that. But get all actors of class, get reference to the first one it finds, and make sure that reference you set view target with blend. I can do that right here really quick. It's just, I'll show you. Get all actors of class. We want to make sure the class is camera actor, and we'd have this come off of begin play. Get a copy. So the first one, so 0 will be the first one and all the cameras find. There's only one, so regardless. Set view target with blend, and make sure that view target is that first camera you find. You do that, and it'll find the first camera in scene and set that as the view target, which means that your player controller will view the game through that camera. So that's an important thing you got to do. I want to make sure I revert everything I did on that. Just reload. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get started. I'm going to make my own camera class for this, which is not too scary. Let's see. So what we want to do is we can kind of make a class of any like base blueprint class within Unreal Engine, including just the game camera. So what we want to do is go right click in our outliner here, or in our content browser, make a blueprint class. Let's just search camera. And then just the base class, the camera actor class. Let's make that. So now we can make our own camera with some built-in functionality to it. So camera follow player, or no, let's call it static cam follow player. I should put a BP in front of that. Gonna submit this stuff real quick. All right, so since I set up a camera here and I like what it's doing, I can preview it like this. As opposed to relining up the new camera, what I'm going to do is just click this new camera class I have, and then right-click this guy and replace actor with static cam follow player. There we go. So now we've got our own custom camera class, and because I'm using tags, I'm going to add an actor tag to it. So now, this camera, when I hit play, yep. Now my player controller finds this camera, and this is our own custom camera class we have here. We've done nothing to it yet, so it just has the default camera controls and stuff on it. You see right here. But let's open that up. We're going to mark this for add. Open full blueprint editor. Nice. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want to find, first of all the players that are in the level. Right now there's only one, but I've got some player spawns here, you see. And if I set number of players to 4, it should automatically create instances of 4 players here. And what we want to do is find all of the players and then find the median point between them and smooth lerp the camera to that median point constantly over time, so that we're always framing all the players. And it's pretty simple. The first thing we want to do is I'm going to make a function that makes a list of all the players. So update player array, let's say. All right, in this, we want to get all actors of class. And the class will be your character, your game's pawn class. Ours is called 0base. Out actors are going to promote this to a variable. This is called players array. I mean, that's kind of it. That's all we need to do, is we have a function that just does that. So on begin play, I want to first do this once so that we have this list. And on event tick is where we're going to smooth lerp the camera over time constantly. The thing is, I don't want to constantly be getting a list of actors. Let's see if I don't want to be doing that every tick. So what I want to do is create a timer. Set timer by event. And then re-trigger this event. Let's make a custom event. Update player array timer. So this timer, if I plug it in here, this output delegate node or pin, at this, I'm gonna set it to looping. When begin play starts, it's going to first update that player array, and then start a timer that consistently updates it. And let's say it updates it every second. Because in my game, players are going to die and respawn, so once that happens, we need to update the new number of players and their positions and stuff. So, and then on this update player array, I'm going to call, actually, you know what? We can probably... I'm going to leave this to run once before the timer starts, because I'm not sure if the timer starts instantly or if it waits a second. And event tick needs to fire and find the positions of all players instantly. So, basically, this is going to make sure that instantly this update player array, sorry, fires instantly, and then it starts a timer which re-triggers that get all actors and set players array function every 1 second. Again, I don't want that on event tick because it's just a lot happening on event tick every frame, and I want to keep it as light as possible. So on event tick, what I want to do is set my camera's location by getting players array and get bounds, get array actor bounds. And I don't, this can't fire until this is complete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a Boolean setup complete, because this has to fire once before this fires. Otherwise, it'll not know where to go and it won't like behave well. So we wanted this camera to not move until this fires once. So setup complete's a Boolean. I'm setting it to default false. So when I do the branch here, it'll only fire if that's true, if setup complete is true, and it starts false, but I'll make it true after this function fires once. All right, so this is kind of like a little necessary checkpoint we have to do to make sure that event tick doesn't fire, it doesn't move the camera position until setup complete is done, which means update our first round of running this function is complete. Okay. So, nothing's going to happen yet, but the nice thing about this function right here is it's going to take all the actors in that array, and it's going to find the center point among them. And we can use that to vector interpret. So it's going to try to, it says, tries to reach target based on distance from current position, giving a nice smooth feeling when tracking position. So we're going to run this every frame. And our target will be the center of all of our actors right here. And our current position will be the camera's current camera components get world location. That will be its current location. And this will be our speed. Or no, delta time. Sorry, we need to get delta time from here. I like things to be straight. Okay, interpret speed. So we'll just set this to, let's say 2 seconds to start. Okay, this won't look good right now because it's going to zoom the camera to this position. I'll show you. Why didn't it do that? This is running, right? It is running. Length should be 4 after the first time it runs. Yep, length is 4. That's the other thing. The other reason we want this to constantly be updating is because when this first fires, the array list is only 1, and then other players slowly load in, and we want to update that. Oh. I'm not actually doing anything. I'm not actually lerping. So this is a position. What we need to do is camera component set world location. Okay, here we go. So we weren't actually doing anything with this information. We were just outputting a vector, which would be the camera's new position based on that interpret. But it wasn't actually moving the camera because we didn't set world location. So now it's going to move the camera to our character. So slowly follow, which is not what we want. We actually want the camera to stay where it is. And we want it to move, let's see, just on the y-axis because we want it to just pan like this. So what we want to do is its target is not actually the center. What it is let's split this or break this vector. We want, and let's split struct pin, and let's break this vector as well. We want the X to come from, we want the target position to be the same X position and Z position as the camera, but update a Y position from the center of all actors, which means that wherever we place the camera, it'll keep its vertical position and forward position, but it'll update its Y position based on the center of the bounds of all the characters in scene. So, I mean, this should be a really quick, I mean, this should just work, I think. Look at that. Now it's centering based on where all the characters are on screen. And if I take another character and I move him over here, you can see it's centering everybody. It's kind of a slow speed, and we can update that speed to be faster. Set this interp speed to like 5. Now it's doing it very quickly. That's pretty cool, huh? Well, that's it. It's pretty simple. I'm going to go into some more advanced. Hopefully that's just the tutorial right there. And I'm going to go into some more advanced uses that I'm just going to kind of freestyle right now. Just some things that popped into my head. Because I want to set up limits that we can easily see here. So that you can't just... it'd be nice if the camera... didn't move. It didn't have ultimate freedom to go left or right, but it was kind of locked within bounds. And I was thinking of a way to do that. Let's see. The other thing is, we could make a version of this that follows the character. Let's see. We could make a version of this that follows the center. I think I have an idea for another version of this. If I use a camera boom that actually follows the character. I'm going to try to remake this, actually, really quick. Alright, I have an idea. Can I add a camera boom here? Alright, I've got an idea. Let's see if this works. There might be another way to do this too. Alright, so I made a version 2 of this guy. This is what I love about Unreal Engine. Just kind of, once you get familiar with blueprints, there's a lot of ways to do things, and once you start building something, you come up with like other ways to spice it up or make it more unique or interesting, and it just becomes like a fun problem to solve. So I have this new one. I'm gonna replace this actor in scene with my V2, and in my V2, I'm gonna blow away some of this stuff. We're gonna keep the update player array and keep this stuff, but what I'm gonna do is, this might not even work, but let's add a camera boom. Oh, maybe I can't add a camera boom to this because the component itself is in there. Oh, we can make our own though. Okay, here we go. Let's add a scene component. Oh, we can't reorder it. Oh, but I can move this. Okay. This is kind of weird. All right, let's see. Let's line up Oh, this is funky. Okay, okay, okay. Watch this. I'm going to position, I'm going to view both at the same time, and I'm offsetting the camera from its center. Oh, whoops. What's going on here? Oh, I see. I was controlling it. So I'm going to put it like roughly where a character would be standing, like right here. Then I'm going to possess the camera, angle it in so that I'm kind of getting my camera view here. All right. So now we have an offset camera within our blueprint, offset from center. Center's there. We have it offset like right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the actual camera's axis right here follow the character. And then we can have it like loosely follow, not the character, but the center here. So watch this. So now what we can do is get a reference to self. So to self get world location of the scene component is actually what we want. And then set world location of ourself to, let's see what this does. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. So it stays at a, it actually lowers in height and stuff. This is pretty cool too. This is a bit more dynamic because it like moves everywhere. But unfortunately, like you don't want it to extend past like your level's bounds and like see too much stuff. But this is a cool version too. That's kind of fun. Yeah, but you know it. The further forward it gets, the more we see characters out of screen there. So we might want to actually point this a little more down. I guess you can play with it. You can do some fun stuff and like angle the camera as it gets more forward. This is pretty cool. It's pretty much what I was talking about too. So let's see. Let's just get a rough... Let's do something interesting here. We can also... So we have a field of view of 90 degrees. So let's just see what these values look like. These box extent. Let's see what the range of values look like on these. 1,000, yeah, like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. And then we're getting up to like 17,000. So let's say 1,000, between 1,000 and 2,000 might be our range that we're working with. So we know we're lurking between those two. Actually, can we get... Let's see what this returns us. See if we can get like a simpler value. Oh, am I not moving the camera here? Yeah, whoops, my bad. So we're all grouped up as about 2,000. We can say it's 2,000 to 2,500 is our vector length range that we're working with. That's kind of like the... So we can say like 1,000 to 3,000, I think, might be. Because if I get one of these characters, if I move them in... No, not you. Not you. Haha. Wow, I can't find the right one. Is it you? You? Dang. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, let's do 1,500 to 2,500 as our range. So you want to do this as well. And then we also want to... Based on that vector length, we are going to lerp the camera components set field of view normalized to range. Range minimum we said was 1,700 to 2,500, so it's going to give us a 0 to 1 value here. 0's going to be 80, let's say, or 70, and then B is going to be 100 field of view. Let's see if we get a dynamic field of view with this. A little funky, but I bet if we did like a... if we did this as a float lerp, let's see. Interp, F interp 2, so... Oh, so yeah, we want to... The current will be that float. The target will be that, and the current will be get field of view. Delta time. Let's say, all right, delta time we'll just grab from here. Let's see how this works. Interrupt speed 1. We'll make it slow. See if that feels good. That's kind of cool. Let's make it even more dramatic here. 50. You can see the camera field of view gets a little wider as we scale out here. Might be a little much, like disorienting, but it's kind of cool. I'm going to make this guy rotate it out a little bit more. Rotate it down, I mean. I mean, that's pretty cool. It really, like, it feels like a really nice dynamic camera. I think it has to be tweaked to keep all the characters constantly in view without pushing out, but you see how it like just adjusts and it gets a little bit wider? That's kind of fun, actually. Well, you know, honestly, I'm gonna test both. in our games and see which one feels the best. Yeah, these guys get a little... It'd be cool to add a little bit of spacing on the gaps, on the bounds, so that it gives it a little bit more. Pretty cool. Hey, that's it. Hopefully that was useful. I'm going to sign off, but cool. Peace.